YouTube, Classic Nintendo Show here again. This is Video Game Pickups episode number 7, and before we even start, I can tell you this is definitely going to be at least one of the biggest episodes ever, because basically there's a little story that goes along with it, and I'm going to share it with you guys right now. So I had this friend visiting me about a month ago. So he saw my SNES games and said, well, I have a few of those that I don't use ever, and I could send them to you. So after he left, I kind of forgot about what we had said. So I get this box in the mail earlier today, and I have no idea what it's from, but it's from where the guy lives. But I still didn't really put it together until I opened it. And there was 18 SNES games, and only one of them doesn't work. And you'll get to see them in a second. So there were 18 SNES games, 2 NES games. I'm looking over at them right now. A Super Nintendo controller. It's a Super Pad third-party controller. A Super Nintendo AC adapter, a Super Nintendo AV cable, and a Super Nintendo console, which is right here. I'm going to actually start the episode now. So I'm going to be covering all that plus a little more. So here we go. First thing is this Super Pad controller. This is actually the first SNES controller I ever held. And it's actually very good. I mean, it has these little circular pads in the bottom of it that kind of fit your hands better than the normal SNES controller does. And it looks a lot more like the European one, and it's actually a very good controller. And moving on to the Wii stuff that I got, actually. I probably should have started with that. Okay. 2 Legend of Zelda games. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword and Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Got this for $20 off of eBay, and definitely good buy for $20. Actually, I'm going to throw them over there. And Skyward Sword I got for $30 with the CD, and it is pretty much the best Zelda game I've ever played. Hold on a second, I need to stop the recording for a second. Sorry. Alright, sorry about that. But anyway, about Skyward Sword. Probably the best Legend of Zelda game I've ever played, and yes, I've played Ocarina of Time. Don't laugh, or yell, or be angry. It's just my opinion. I can have it in my own opinion. Anyway, great game. Good buy for even $40. So, next, my 2 NES games that I got with the package. First one's called Silent Service. This game sucks hard. Honestly, it's really bad. It's basically just an overhead view of a submarine, and you got your little cursor on the bottom that you move around with the D-pad, and you like control the speed and the depth and your rudder and everything with it. It's just really bad. So, next game for the NES that I got is definitely a step up from Silent Service. Pac-Man, the Sunsoft version. Great, definitely. And the reason I'm not saying prices on this is that he actually sent this to me for free, which is basically a jackpot. So anyway, this game, you sort of have to wiggle it around in the NES, but it still works great. So really happy that I got this. I didn't even know it was coming. So yeah. Now moving on, I'm going to do my SNES games last because there's just so many of them. But anyway, I forgot to mention this. This is a Wii Motion Plus remote that I got to play Skyward Sword with. And it's third party, as you can see. It says new 2-in-1. The Nintendo brand doesn't say that. And it says Motion Plus down here. The Nintendo brand has it kind of curved. And then it says, I think it says Wii in there. Well, wait, no it doesn't. But yeah, they advertise a Nintendo brand, but they sent me this piece of crud, so. Moving on. This is the console that I got. It was pretty dirty, and it's yellowed, and it's chipped in two corners. This one and this one. And as you can, actually, I'm going to show you. You see over there, I already have my other Super Nintendo. Well, yeah, duplicate. Can't really use it very much. So, gonna sell this along with a couple duplicate games that I got. So, yeah, okay, there we go. Came with the official AC adapter. And, let me just, yeah, get this out of the way. And some unofficial AV cables, which are actually, it has an S video out as well. And these are probably going to be useful. Well, they could be useful, but I already have a set of cables that's better than it. See, it has your S video and your composite out. And it also has, oh geez, okay. It also has cables for an original Xbox, a PlayStation 1, 2, or 3, and, geez, that's weird looking. Anyway, and, one for SNES, GameCube, and N64. So, that was cool. I didn't even know I was going to get a Super Nintendo, so, let alone, like, 20 freaking games. So, I actually got 2 copies. Here, yeah. All the games that I got have the word Dad written with a Sharpie on the back, which is kind of weird. But, yeah, I got 2 copies of Super Mario World. Yeah. And they're both the version that has, Super over, here, instead of Super, like, on the top. The more Super version, actually, is what these are. So, I also got, this is the game that doesn't work. It's called Scooby-Doo Mystery. I really don't know what to expect from a Scooby-Doo game made by Sunsoft and Acclaim. So I even cleaned this thing with steel wool and it doesn't work. So it has to be something like on the inside. So I'm probably just gonna throw this out, but I figured I'd show you guys before I did. So I got The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Well, this is the one that I got in the box. So I got two of these. One before I got the box full of them, and I can tell this is the one that was in the box because it says Dad on the back. But yeah, this didn't have any save files on it, and since I already have a copy, I'm gonna include it with the Super Nintendo when I sell it. So next game, Lord of the Rings Volume 1. I tested all the games that I got and tried to play all of them. From what I played of this, maybe it's just not my type of game, but first impression is, what? Not really what, but they had a few spelling errors and stuff, but I didn't really like the game, from the beginning. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. But the next game is called Rock and Roll Racing by Interplay. This game was okay. It's sort of like it's a game on the NES that's where you control RC cars and you can use it with the Power Glove. It was in the AVGN Power Glove video, but I'm not sure what it's called. Probably should do some more research. But yeah, it's a lot like that game from what I've seen. And I got 2 copies of Super Scope 6. I don't have the gun that goes with it, so I'm just going to keep one of the copies. I mean, if I ever do get the gun, then I wouldn't have to buy another copy of Super Scope 6. So, yeah. And the next game is a golf game called Waiale, I think. Waiale Country Club. It's your average golf game. Nothing really special. So, yeah, just your average regular golf game. Pretty complicated one, actually, though. And now we get to the big stack. Number 1, Wing Commander: The Secret Missions. This is sort of like a 3D. They tried to do a 3D game, but it's really confusing for a guy brought up on Ace Combat. So, for the PS2, obviously, it's more modern game than this. So, that one is okay. Wings 2 Aces High is the next game. Developed by Namco, actually, the same company that made Ace Combat. And this one's actually pretty cool. It's semi-realistic. I mean, it's probably as realistic as you can get with a Super Nintendo game. But, yeah. Wings 2. And next game, well, that's one of my games. That's another one of my games. The copy of Super Scope 6 that I'm keeping. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I didn't expect it to be like Ghosts and Goblins, but the guy in it looks a lot like it. I'm not sure if it was a sequel because I've never really heard of this game. But in the first level, there's just like this rock blocking your path. So all I was able to do was just shoot away at the zombies or whatever they were. So I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to do. And never really heard of the game before that. So anyway, next game is Super Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back. I borrowed the original Super Star Wars from my friend once, and I really liked it. But this game is hard. So I'm gonna have to probably get a little better at it before I can get far into it. But definitely this one's one of the good ones I got. Next game is another good one that I suck hard at. Street Fighter 2. I am so bad at this game. So, yeah. You probably know what Street Fighter 2 is by now. Next game, Star Trek: The Next Generation. Sucks. Well, it's just not really intuitive, and you don't have any idea where to go. First thing that happens is a prelude, and then you're on the Enterprise, just kind of pointing and clicking your way around. So that's all there is to that. Next game, Miss Pac-Man. This game actually includes more than just your normal Miss Pac-Man. It has like different difficulties and different modes and different maze layout and stuff like that. So kind of like an improved version of Miss Pac-Man. And this is the copy of Link to the Past that I got by myself instead of getting in that box. Next game, Disney's Goof Troop. It's a game based on Goofy, and from what I gathered, you're on this, I think it's an island where pirates have come back, apparently. So I didn't really get far into it. I didn't even play through the first 10 minutes of it, but it is okay, I guess. And, oh, jeez, didn't mean to drop that. That was one of my games that I just dropped. Anyway, last game is EVO. Very, very interesting. Well, its actually full name is EVO Search for Eden, but it's a very interesting concept for a game where you start out pretty much in the beginning of time. I think it was like 500 million to 450 million BC. And you start out as this fish, and you got like, it's sort of like Super Mario World in the way it's set up with an overworld, and then you drop down into your side-scrolling segments, but I didn't get really far into it, and just kind of played a little bit to make sure it worked. And it's definitely an interesting game. And by the front, it has a dinosaur on the front, so I'm guessing you get to go up to there. But yeah, if you can see that, this camera that I'm using doesn't really focus very well. But that is it for the games, and I just have one more thing. I got this for a costume thing that I have to go to, and it was for 80s characters. So, me being a Nintendo nerd, had to pick Mario. So I got this hat, and it's sort of video game related. Well, yeah, it's sort of video game related, so I thought I'd just kind of show it off. So, yeah, it's me, Mario. But guess what? That's not all. I still have more games that I got on the Wii Virtual Console that I never showed you guys. So I'm going to go set up the games on the Wii to show you, and it should take just a couple seconds. So yeah, see you in a bit. Alright guys, so here's the Virtual Console games I got. First one's Super Mario Brothers 2. Next one's Super Mario Brothers 3. And the next and last one is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and record another episode of Super Mario Galaxy 2 here in a second. But yeah, definitely just stay tuned. If you like my videos, please subscribe. I think that's probably the first time I've ever asked for subscribers. But anyway, yeah, see you in my next video. Bye. Jeez, didn't mean to drop that.